the Legend stage.
I mean, considering that Olaf literally has maybe one of his most famous / infamous moments on this map.
Yeah,
one of the most
even outside
infamous...
of Counter-Strike, people know about that.
It's definitely one of the most infamous moments of all of esports in some ways. One of the big early decisions that did comprehensively change the outcome of a world championship.
Well, it is Overpass. It is Olaf Pass, but we're going to have to wait some time before we see some CT side shenanigans. Team Neo start T side. They've got themselves connector control. They've already bled through a lot of the control, but Smooya's actually gone through connector and actually has a flank on Freiburg, so a guaranteed kill. Oh my god, not guaranteed! What?
Poor Smoo, poor Smoo.
How has this happened to him again?
Every time, man. You can't sneak up on the chosen ones. Just can't be done. Ninnies and Nado know it's all about taking those head-on duels. Nado coming out well with 2 quick kills, but it is Ninnies to fall up next. Kenny S, the only one surviving a 1-on-3 that he needs to quickly bring down. Peaks are actually evaded. Kenny had a chance. Great movement from him as the pathing was perfect, but he just can't land the shots. You could see it working out in your mind's eye.
Man, you see how different a round this would have been if the Kenny, or sorry, if the flank on Freiburg had actually worked out. But Freiburg, I think, wasn't too certain that he'd lined himself up correctly, so he double-checked, had his gun out as well, and that was all that was needed to stop him getting backstabbed. It's so crazy because it comes down to this 2-on-1 where the numbers would have been thinned out.
Hudson. Just has to be sure that there's no P250s or Deagles peering down back at him when he's hopping against the anti-eco. And he's good for the first. And looks like that might be all they actually end up getting.
Yeah, tried to go a bit mid-focused and have just ended up dead as a result of it. So 1 exit kill for Onedo would be nice. Probably not going to be easy. Yeah, double swing. Make sure that nobody takes any extra damage that was unnecessary. Keeping hold of weapons and making sure to get off to a nice solid start on this T side. I know these are...
Sorry, Michael. Did Hudson have a scout in the previous one?
Yes.
Ah, okay. I don't know why in my head I was thinking, oh my god, this guy's a madman. He's got an AWP in the second round.
I would have had to knife somebody, I think, to get that much money.
And if there's one thing Smooya hasn't experienced so far, it is a knife. Great set of nades though, keeps Kenny S low.
They actually lined up for a triple nade, but one of them missed, and that actually allows Kenny to escape. So, had it actually gone through properly, it would have been a nice opener kill. Team Neo trying their heart out. I can't believe they're setting up triple nades. Like, hey, do you guys know this? Yeah. Okay, well, let's go for it.
I think the call is more like, I think I know this? And then you're like, well, I may as well try. One of them, of course, not landing over there. Like you mentioned.
Yeah. Oh, Olaf got caught out. This is his map. I can't believe it. How can the founder fall victim to some of the angles? Lots of damage on the force as well. The boost in the smoke and divider, and well, we could have had Guardian in this tournament.
God, let's not go to what could have been, because there's a lot to enjoy in what is, even if it sure as hell would have been freaking good.
Oh my god, another boost?
Who are you trying to kid over here, guys? Boost on boost action. Smooya is finally able to come through with one, and the spam on the other side is met by Smooya once again. The blade brought low. Forest is finished off. One kill from Neo onto the bomb site though, and it's Tudson to follow up with a great scout shot as well. Neo, however, did not expect Smiths to be around in the vicinity, and Smiths can find the second as well on top of it. Team Kenny S finds themselves their first round.
Yeah, Smiths came out pre-firing as well for that angle, just to make sure that he got the upper hand and found the exact timing he needed to. I will say this about Smooya as well. I've kind of felt that Overpass is one of his strongest maps, especially in sort of these environments where it is a bit more loose and not playing against sort of like the full structure of a team. So Seems to have a really good feel for how rounds develop. So it could certainly be an X factor. Oh god, oh no, barrel spotted.
Oh no, you can't let that happen. Freiburg at least will be punished in the end, but Neo's right there on the trade. Oh dear, that's a disastrous circumstance. Freiburg has basically given them this round. The only last remaining defender is on this A bomb site. It's NATO Sapphix revealing his position as well, ducking in and out of the smokes, but Neo will still come through and conquer. It's given Nini some time. He had a great 1-on-3 on Nuke, but that's when he had everything going his way. Full information, control of the bomb, and anything else you could ask for. Now, none of the above.
Yeah, trying to save. What a ridiculous way for this round to have developed. I mean, shouldn't be any way that Nini's can make this work. I mean, smoke on the bomb, flash as well. It's a full 10-second defuse he'd have to stick, and he's certainly baited them out into the open, but yeah, two players that can be the different prongs of the assault. Thought for sure Nini's would try and keep hold of that rifle, but trying to make it interesting. Team Neo another round, but I cannot believe that the round is cracked open like it was by Team Neo. You know, they come in with a deagle on Freiburg, and Smith's quick switched away from his rifle while Freiburg was peeking and still swinging on him. Like, just one input too many. Full panic. Immediately pushed back down to pistols are Team Kenny. Smooya trying to find a timing in connector. Freiburg does spin round in time and ends up decapitating. So good job from Freiburg keeping his teammates safe.
Smith is in a very good position for this one. Just hoping that someone actually moves through, but the problem is Tudson's in the meanwhile crept all the way through to the back of A, into CT, into Heaven as well. So any sort of room for maneuvering that Team Kenny S might have felt they had is about to be choked down upon. Tudson's grip is strangling out any sort of breath they had left in their throat. A little bit shaky on that first, but the second is as sharp as a knife.
Yeah, I mean, that is beautiful stuff as well. Simultaneous activation on both of those kills, and then as soon as Tudson got the kill on the bomb site, cutting off the rotate immediately. Really nice sneaky move, and again, another one of those instances where it's nice to see the players that have, I think, certainly more to prove in their careers, taking some initiative in sort of these mid-round moments and allowing themselves to take a risk. Sometimes mistakes I think people make are being too reserved or being too scared to make a mistake.
Oh. Looked like he was in position for that second one as well, but instead it's Olaf to come through and break second blood. Trades are still good from the CT side. They've managed to keep things in their favor, and Smiths will do more than just that. Takes the advantage as well.
Yeah, nice little Smiths double up. Neo can retrieve the bomb. It's not as though Smiths wanted to sit on top of that. Very exposed position to try and play from, but getting aggro as well towards long, so retaking some control over towards A, and Smiths might actually find himself into a timing where if he reflanks into bathrooms, this could be devastating.
Oh, this is going to be really troublesome though if they turn around and check for this one. So many times over we've seen these regular discipline plays, seen these reads, seen all of these individual plays that they could make go awry. And they've missed it completely. NATO as well doesn't realize they're not going to know till the bomb's being planted. Smoke down, Molly's there, and the jig is up. Neo, bomb is planted, and they'll be checking the backsides as well. Flashbang overhead, Neo trying to keep them at bay. NATO Sapphix will spot them out, but it's all down to Neo. Good for the first, as he realizes there's actually two there. Smiths had revealed position earlier on, but Nini needs to take the duel. Neo to take the win. It's only Smiths left, and he will get the bag stab, but man, that round gets close.
Yeah, I mean, Smiths as well playing the passive game as soon as the first contact is made on the flank. NATO doing some good work diverting all that attention, but because Smith was spotted on that A bomb site earlier on, they thought maybe he cheated on that rotation towards B, even if they had that flank. Not expecting that there would be that secondary player. Neo certainly making it interesting. If he gotten an extra step, any sort of prompt out of Smiths, you know, a flash, a step that's made, would have been a completely different game. But Team Kenny might be able to stabilize back into some CT wins. In this round, it would reset the T-side economy.
Maybe Smuya's got a chance to do just that. Knows where they're coming in from. The trade is good, though. Forrest used to running out from behind Freiburg. It's like riding a bicycle that way.
Oh, good. Oh, good gracious. Smith's just narrowly missing out on a Forrest kill. Olaf actually trying to phase this smoke and might actually get an opportunity to shoot somebody straight in the back. Doesn't actually go around clearing, but Nini's is too slow to react. Doesn't save his teammate. NATO Safix dropped, the bomb site taken, and the bomb down as well for Team Neo.
Kenny's gone. No way for Smith to do anything over here other than try to save. He knows it as well. We talked about the T-side economy potentially being reset over here, Michael. Same was true for either side. Swing rounds are painful for the CTs.
Yeah, surviving with one player is never ideal for either team involved, really. Sometimes feel good about how the economy feels on that T side, even if you come down to that one player, because you get the plant bonus. You know, if you're in clutch scenarios like it, but not to be. No saving grace like that for Team Kenny. And I think we're looking at sort of 7-8 where things can get really, really dicey. I think the first half, the defensive ends for Team Kenny on Nuke, certainly not up to the standard I think they would have expected themselves. And for Overpass to not be off to the most flying of starts. A little fear starts to creep down. You know you're against some of the all-time greats, but the meta has shifted pretty substantially to sort of CT side favors. And Kenny said himself, you know, they want to win. They came here to win.
And one of the other things to obviously keep in mind is when you've got a team of 5 AWPers on a map like Overpass, you definitely don't want to not be in a position to be able to buy up some AWPs.
Yeah, I think that's been one of the extra concerns when we really think about it.
Yes.
You know, they haven't been in stable enough CT money to get themselves into AWPs, so yeah, they have to sort of provision around that if they want to get somebody onto that weapon.
Are we about to see another big nade stack coming in this time? Would it work or not? Well, I mean, it does do the damage that is necessary. And that is important.
And Nader's still got distance, but because he has no armor, it just chunked him anyway.
Demolishes you.
Only in the barrel, so they don't need to clear it. There's pistols around the corner, and the rifle in Smiths is on the other side of the map, so only having to deal with the fact that there's a bit of short pressure, maybe mounting. The Molotov actually flushes Smuya out, but he got the drive-by kill. Does get found after the fact. NATO Safix trying to close in on the gap, but overwhelmed. Far too many targets, far too many players, and the one rifle in Smith's trying to rotate, but Tudson was lurking with the AWP. Seemed like there could have been a chance, but even with a kill being sort of started and jump-started onto that bomb site, just lacking in the firepower. AWP's out. 2, in fact.
Maybe now this is the time for them to shine. You know, we've definitely seen a few sneaky business moments from Smuya, even if they haven't always worked out.
Man, there's so much pace from Freiburg in this connector control.
Oh, nice flashbang as well. Oh, Neo's just found Inis immediately. This is where he does end up trading most of his life for it. The spam is great, though. He is audacious.
Wow. I mean, just such a good feel. They were spamming as well the other wood wall. So the fact that Neo has the presence of mind to shoot at the other, that's kind of crazy. The fact you don't expect there to be 2 players. Yeah.
Also, Neo is 12-3 right now. If Smooya is streaming this, I'm gonna go back and see his reaction to some of these rounds for sure.
Pistol round is definitely one to save.
Yeah.
Well, these ops have not been successful, I'll tell you that much. 2 of them brought into the round and yet to find a kill on either. NATO Sapphics does get dropped. Rather, Smee did find one. But the Smiths rotate is cut off and NATO would be forced to save. This has not been a stellar CT half.
Just to confirm for everyone, as I was checking, I don't know if Smooth is streaming, but KennyS is streaming. So you can go back and hear all of the reactions on comms at the very least, if nothing else.
Yeah, you won't hear him molding to himself.
Yes.
Those people are good teammates enough to, you know, separate the whatever venting you need to do for yourself versus cluttering team comms. Good effort from NATO Sapphics to save the AWP. I actually had to go back and double check myself as well. You know, Smooth got 1 kill in that round, but it wasn't on the AWP, it was actually a nade.
That was after he died already.
Yeah.
As he got the dead man's hand grenade onto Neo.
Yep.
1 HP, yeah. Well.
5 AWPers. Hell, Team Neo looking right now at 0 AWPers. No AWP kills found aside from on the save. 1-for-1 exchange over at short, though, does mean that Ninis can get his hand onto a rifle and actually make sure that his teammates have some extra pistols to work off of. 4-on-4 is not ideal, and to lose a player that's supposed to be your extremities control player does sort of limit some of the options unless they want to chance it and risk coming out of connectors. So this should be a bit of an A-side lean from Team Neo.
Looks like it might be a full A-side execute without the flashes, though, and that's always something that's a troubling line to say up against Smooth's opponents playing this close and personal. I love this position from him, but he's missed out his first opportunity. The second as well. Gone, gone, gone. Neo will exploit it. And NATO Sapphics, well, he's going to have to cover things off with his rifle instead. The try is almost there from Dudson, but Freiberg's the one on the bomb site wreaking havoc. Smith's left alone, a 1-on-3. And he will be immediately eliminated. I have to say, this is the point where maybe the ops starts going back the other way.
I mean, this is the thing. They still haven't got a single AWP kill in a round where it's still even feasible. So another double AWP investment. These are expensive, but they need to have some success soon because 8 already on this T side for Team Neo is more than enough. And I mean, the way that they're winning these rounds as well, maybe even expect more. I mean, definitely expect more.
Peek out from Olaf, and it is immediately traded. Smooth is able to find us our first significant AWP kill of the game. Molotov at the feet of Freiberg, but he's getting ready to plow right through it. Wants to get those kills on the short players. He's in a great angle, and as Util gets onto this bomb site, NATO's there to trade, but now he's revealed his position, and now that he has died, this B-bomb site is completely open for business. At least that's what I thought. Smuya is still in the vicinity. Tudson, 1-on-2 for him. We've had our first few impactful AWP kills from the CT side. Can we have some on T side as well? Is the big question.
It's a long flank, and I don't know if Tudson's going to be aware of it. He's certainly been looking at the monster tunnel a couple times over. Smuya has hidden himself away, so not trying to activate before Smiths can get into a forward position. And the backstab coming in, dialing the digits, and Smiths will hear it.
Smiths inches through. First shot is missed from Smuya. USB is what has to get the kill. Tudson had to pull the AWP out. If not, could have seen that going horribly wrong. Double up can be saved forward as well. Team KennyS up to 3 now, and they will be able to take this double forward.
Yeah, not taking it with the ego either. You know, you miss the up shot, but your teammates converging, just want to be there to support and get that extra damage in. I think it can be sometimes a do or die. You know, you get stuck on, oh, I have this main weapon, I have to go, but Smooya way too experienced for that. So yeah, first significant AWP kills and very significant frags in from Smooya to keep them at least competitive in this half. See how close some of the rounds have been prior for Team Neo. That money has been burnt on a number of players, but it's a pacey round for them, just running out the monster tunnel.
Fully blinded out Smith here. So many flashbangs. How does he contend with anyone's? He lets Smooya do the action instead. Well, they get into the action instead. Counter flashes out as he starts to take the peek in. Dudson is gone, and the rest of the T side has been forced right back to the monster tunnel, but they are going to be turning around and hoping for some over-aggression. Smiths will end up falling into their crosshair, but instead of being quickly eliminated, it is only Forrest left, a 1-on-3, and Smooya won't let him get away with it.
Yeah, great stuff. Just so many grenades being thrown from the CTs in sort of counteracting this fast play as well. You know, they threw a lot of flashes there on Team Neo, but then they started getting flashed up by the CT flashes, and then there's smokes down as well. They're kind of trapped with the monster grate as the main area of contention. This is a round many moons ago, but show just how ridiculous that is. I don't know what happened with Smith's weapon.
Neo has consistently been finding these 1 HP situations, and he always spams immediately afterwards as well. Guys, this is not safe for work. You are not going to be allowed to see that one, so, you know.
Yeah, he does good work. He definitely did some good work in that round. That was the one where I got a little confused about whether it was a nade or an ult kill, but a little tech timeout, and Team Kenny will see if they can continue to find some rounds towards the tail end of this first half. This is probably the most vulnerable buy they've had to face off against in, it's been maybe 6 rounds.
It's going to be mollied off of a hit. Maybe this is the... Oh, the molly doesn't spread to him, actually.
Didn't go high enough.
Yeah. Ain't no molly high enough. Sorry.
Go on, man.
I have to say, Smooth's already picked it up and turned it around.
Very awkward spot though, because Kenny has to go and pick up his divider. If Hudson had slipped by, Smooya would have been a sitting duck. So it's 2 AWPs defending this A bomb site, but they have some decent sight lines to hold.
Oh, Kenny's pushing in. Sees the elbow, gets the first kill. Smooya has to cover, and Freiburg's able to trade. Instead, it's Forrest on the secondary. Oh, Freiburg and Forrest both with the AWPs. Let's go.
Tag team duo in a way you don't expect. I mean, not the weapons that have classed most of their careers, but they can put up master classes themselves. Bomb is dropped all the way down T steps, so they're gonna have to really make a choice here, and it might actually lean them towards the B bomb site. Forrest is still probing with his AWP over at A and trying to sell them on the idea of just a slow progress round into this upper bomb site. But they're playing so defensive. They know that the AWP may be hunting for these kills. Oh, wide swing out. Forrest misses the shot, but they haven't spotted the bomb or any other players.
Smiths will be able to spot and drop the bomb. Both. Olaf just trades it out immediately, though. And he has to be able to get the bomb down. He won't. He won't. There's no chance for it at all. They barely just miss it at the last nick of it. And that's always going to be one of the problems with having multiple AWPs on this T side. Not that that is going to stop Team Neo from saving them both into the next one.
Yeah, not exactly an ideal buy that they come into that round with, but the fact that they got their hands onto the secondary open, you know, we're kind of waiting to see if they could bear the fruits of it. You can understand why they played it slow, but I think the bomb was just too far away for them to really make the right choice in that instance, and Smith's got the critical kill to stop the round. Still forcing around these AWPs. I think maybe the salvage weapons from the CTs.
Can you spot into that smoke?
Not sure what you mean by that, to be honest.
Like, is there like a gap in the corner? Is that what Smuya's keeping an eye? Oh. Well, already had one poke out. Tudson down low, but M4 recovered. Forrest in the meanwhile will fall, and Kenny to provide a bit more assistance. It all comes down to seeing whether or not this double op can actually find us anything else. While Olofmeister's caught with a knife in his hand, it's Kenny to continue to keep control over the bathrooms. Only Freiberg left.
Control the bomb as well and back up to the AWP, but Smuya will steal it. So between the two of them, nice little 4-piece. Nini's with the last kill that was needed. Yeah, looking like they might turn this ship around. This first half was looking kind of dire at the start.
And a lot of credit out to Smuya. The second he's turned things around, the second he started to frag out a little bit more, it looked like it was inevitable that it had to happen eventually. You know, he had a few very unlucky moments in that regards, but now that he's back, he is very much in control of the server. Nini's mollied up, chased down. These MAC-10s are not letting go, but he himself can just spam right back. Kenny as well, covering it off his other angles, and he now can just choose to fight in with the USB. Freiberg and Neo, all that is left, and that is traded out for just the one solitary connector play. Oh my god. If he got that. No, surely not. Okay.
Dude. I mean, just those small micro plays, like going for the jump spot, trying to line up the wallbang because of it. Love to see stuff like that. It's very low percentage. You know, even Heath, I'm sure, will admit that's not like a place where he expects to get the kill. But it would have been certainly cool.
Would have been very cool.
Freiberg had a hell of a map earlier against Team Edward.
Yeah,
it's going to be Neo and Freiberg to try and pull things through, and I don't think it's looking likely.
Not with the kind of utility that's still available as well to this CT side, you know. Smuya still got a smoke room to go back and deploy it. For Monster won't even be needed. Smiths can just get the easy one. Flashbang is there as well. Freiberg trying to spray him down, but nothing to be done about it. Kenny has his squad up to 7 rounds now. It's Smuya leading the pack. Maybe not something we might have expected with how things started off, but still looking good.
Yeah, once the double ops actually started getting some sort of reward for their investment, that's when things started to shift back into their favor, and you can see how difficult that is to approach when you've got oppers that are willing to play next to each other as well, but it felt like they were trying to be dynamic as well on that CT side. Started 8-2 and closes 8-7. So momentum certainly into Team Kenny's sails. Chancing at a few too many peaks there on Tudson, but not wanting to fall back for free. They're so clustered into this mid area that I wouldn't be surprised if they continue and actually try and collapse on this part of the map. But Smuya getting the kill, Kenny as well. They might just bypass connector altogether.
They have left Smuya behind to at least watch out for leftovers, and that's exactly what he's feasting upon. Why not make it 2? Freiberg's all that is left, and maybe he can at least dent their armor just enough to force him to rebuy, but even that, for Kenny S at the very least, will not happen, so he'll be able to pick up that AK and feel very good about himself.
Gotta say, the dualies have to be one of the silliest looking weapons to hold in a third person point of view. Like, we look at Forrest looking around that corner and he just looks like lost, but you know Forrest isn't actually lost. It's the character just seems a little derpy, but yeah, good pistol round and just collection of kills very quickly is what allowed them to take it.
Range fuels, and this is just a free eco. Interesting thing as well, because we have had the scoreboard opening up towards the end of the house, obviously. It's just a huge throwback, man, to Olofmeister's alternative alias as well, which is Bob the Ruler. And that's like a really... I think I read about that back in like 2019 or something like that, but just a big throwback.
Yeah, I kinda miss that, actually.
Yeah. Hey, now comes out their gun run. Now we get to see what exactly is in the plan for the CT side. Very few pieces of incendiaries, but maybe this is where they can try and get aggressive behind these M4s.
See how much utils exchange in the early portion. There's 4 smokes down in the opening segment. Trying to feign some short water control was Nini's. You know, it's a nice little lineup to know. Slot yourself in the corner, aim at the bottom left of the A, and you can smoke off that short tunnel just in case they try to molly it. You know, it's some fake info for the CTs to think of. Far more A-focused.
CTs are split up on the A-bomb site, so Tudson's going to have to put up an individual showing. Meanwhile, knifing the wall is Forrest. And Tudson's been given full information as well. But he turned around! Smooya catches him with his back turn. This time, doesn't even try to go for any sort of trigger discipline. Just gets the kill outright, and I can't blame him. Bomb is planted. All of my to fade away. No incendiaries, no grenades, no kits. This might very well be a call to save, but something tells me that they won't be saving, at least not until Forrest has had a fair shot, rather Neo has had a fair shot at moving back onto this bomb site. Good for the one, but Smith will trade, and he's good for two. Mac 10 to get it done, picks up the M4 as well for his trouble, smokes himself up, and now Neo caught out and brought down.
Yeah, Kenny spotted the barrel, I think, just from Neo's position, but he was so locked in that impossible shot for him to be able to hit. So he came around pre-firing, but I mean, that timing for Tudson is probably the worst that you could imagine. You can understand it as well. You know, he has teammates on the bomb site, doesn't want to let them die for free, has nobody peeking in the bathrooms, but as soon as he turned his head, that's when Smee decided, yeah, you know what, let's go in through this avenue of attack. If you'll go the same path, the likeliness you meet a roadblock is higher.
Ooh.
Maybe this map is just T-sided.
That's what HLTV forums have told me sometimes, though.
Yep, you see one map where it's T-sided, or two teams where they can only succeed on the T side, and you're just like, oh, well, I guess that's the map's fault.
What's going on here?
Took them a long time to assemble this boost. They might get a kill from it if they're patient enough.
Is that being... Oh my god! Olaf Meister! He knows exactly what's going on. You're gonna try to boost in front of me on... Do you know who I am?
You think the boost is your ally?
I was born the boost. Forrest, however.
Buy it.
Forrest, however, with the AK picked up, just wants to go out and have a go at it. See if he can deal some damage as well. T-side economy is looking mighty good, and it's going to look even better now that he doesn't find a frag. CTs would have been able to buy up anyway, but it would have been nice to save it. AK into the next.
By the way, small shout out Smiths for getting the wallbang kill after the person he boosted up in the connector got destroyed. I think that visual confirmation just went with feel, and I think it all worked out from there. But yeah, Team Kenny are continuing with that momentum coming into the second half, and right now it's on Neo's squad to try and salvage at least some dignity, some face, because after such a successful first half, you would expect that could have been an easy closer, but they let things slip towards the tail end of the first.
Oh. Smooya is gone with the grenade to try and out onto Tudson is good from Nader. Olaf's going to continue to contest long out until the point where there is a flashbang, but Neo set up for success. Olaf has bought so much space for him. They are tunnel vision as can be, and Neo on the flank has just come through with two big ones.
Thought they might have identified a vulnerability. You know, they get Tudson, that's the first pillar of defense on this A-bomb site, but yeah, Neo was never really dealt with in the connector, so his timing is just perfect. Hey, first round here on this CT side, and in pretty strong fashion. They can get their mitts on all this extra util that lies on the ground, all these AKs. Be a nice little extra notch on the belt.
Oh.
Good damage from NATO, but I think he understands that that's about all he's going to accomplish. Saves more than he'll gain as a result of holding onto this AK.
I'm slightly surprised by this decision, though. just to, because obviously, you know, it's a mathematical idea, but also at the same time, you could just take away some of the CT money, make the next round a bit easier as well. So always a bit of a trade-off.
Yeah, I could have fought for the AWP as well. Wasn't 100% confident. I didn't glance over before about whether that was dropped on the ground or not, but yeah, that could have been a priority. No aggressive moves over at the A side, or really much play into towards short water from the CTs. Just playing some defensive CS, you know, as well, sort of joining up with Tudson over at long to see if he can maybe creep closer and act as a. Oh my god, no way. If they assemble this boost, I think there could have been an opportunity, perhaps, if they're. Actually, no, I think the skybox might be a little too low to have constructed that, but because of where Tudson's positioned, there are some boosts you can have that sort of peer into his spot. I think it's a triple boost you need to assemble in party to do so.
There's a lot of things in Overpass which I am ready to believe have yet to be discovered, and Smits is discovering them right as we speak. Discovering the fact that Tudson is around the corner and now is going back to try and cover them off, but they will not know that Forrest is going for the long flank in. Olaf's demise, however, still gives them an avenue into this bomb site. Tudson around the corner of that smoke is trying to contest, but with more smokes and utility down, all he can do is wait for Neo to come in on the flank. Neo's found Kenny on the same duel as the previous time over, and Nini's is unable to find the frag. But with Tudson's demise being guaranteed, this round becomes a little bit more simple for the Kenny S side. Oh no, he almost gets cut off. Neo almost completely outplaying him over there, but Smooya is still alive and he is kicking them all over the place. A one-on-one between Freiberg and Smooya, each of whom has been having a good game at separate times in the day, but this time over it's just Smooya.
Yeah, great job there from Smooya, finding continuous picks as well, moving into that bomb site. Found 4 kills in that round, but did so as well when there were smokes down on the bomb site. There's a bit of chaos going on, you know, players are being found in from behind, and you know, ultimately once they secured the toilet's position, it was just such an advantageous gunfight as well to secure the round. But you know, started off this map pretty slow. You know, we're saying where are the AWPers for Team Kenny when they have so many, but has really activated. Boost up in connector. Smooya did this himself, but oh god, Kenny sharp.
Had a few shaky rounds versus Neo on the divider peak, but this one is looking good.
All you can do really now is, if you're Forrest, is pray they come out con and only one at a time.
Single file.
Please, not all at once, gentlemen. I know you want to come and see me.
Mind the gap.
But there is 2 players on this B bomb site, and right now the focus does seem to be for Team Kenny to maybe go for and execute that side of the map. Olaf just making sure that Forrest is actually holding connector.
Well,
hey,
Forrest does get one for free, but he doesn't actually go ahead and pick up that AK. He's more prioritizing the speed, and as he is, will get another quick kill. Reload can't come out in time, though, and Nenis can spam the smoke to find the trade. If not, could have been a slightly more complicated round over here. Neo, who did, of course, force buy into. Nice shot, Smooya.
Yeah, make the Bogdan's trip. You know, swapped the AWP into Kenny's hands after the double entry got into connector. And yeah, just a nice little one tap on top. Hard round, you know, double entry like that, 5-on-3, even just being one man down on the CT side is a massive detriment. So, shaping up to be a Team Kenny success, and how this map might end up being after Neo started so dominantly. Now Team Kenny have really taken this game by the horns.
Like, this looks like this is their 14th round, almost guaranteed, if not for Tudson finding the bomb. He does actually notice the second player around the corner as well, and goodbye, Kenny. Tatson's push all the way down through playground is going to net him a real chance at this, but they still have to get past the raid boss of Smooya. Forrest has been left as the lone opera glass cannon. Well, Olaf, not too far off, is hoping that NATO ends up making a mistake, and indeed he might, as Olaf is proceeding forward. Olaf gets the kill, AK is recovered, and now he's making his way straight back towards that A bomb site. Forrest has been deemed a big boy. He can handle himself on his own.
Gotta make sure that the connector's clear, though, in spite of the fact that Olaf was very loud about his rotation. Can't read too much into just sound cues. Olaf has been very mobile, in fact, that he's gone from connector to playground, or to party, rather, back to long, back to the A-bomb site, so taking the long route, the scenic one. Now they'll have to very much just go for a very fast play into this B-bomb site. They do have flashes, so the fact that Forrest has an AWP could be a detriment.
Oh, they're making so much noise. Thunderfooting in. Forrest brings us straight back to a one-on-one on the bomb side, and with Olaf Meister's support, going to be coming in soon. Forrest is completely outplayed. Smooya, oh my god, he's running rings around him. Forrest will not let them get close to 14.
Welcome to my neck of the woods. That's just so cerebral, so smart there from Forrest. You can tell that there was that urgency to just move into the site, so they don't want to pull out utility as well, because around the sort of 10, 15, 20-second mark is when players actually like to go for peaks, so keeping your gun out actually might save your life. But yeah, fell into Forrest and just played it perfect.
He was hearing everyone coming his way. Enes is going to be casualty number one around the corner. It's Tudson traded out the AWP that has not been able to shine all as much as we're used to it, but Olaf has now entered the building with 2 big kills. Backup's coming over. NATO to be traded, needs to be faster. He's trying around the corner, but Neo will prevent him from getting the reload off, and it's all Kenny over on long. Nothing to do here for him. AWP can be recovered as well, and indeed it will be.
Closing in on that gap, and just as I was saying that Team Kenny were taking the round by the horns, it's that force buy, the upgraded pistols that really strike back and give Team Neo a way back into this. See, it's knocked the Kenny economy down a peg. Really uncertain about where this game will go, because it's been very streaky from either team. As soon as they get a little bit of confidence or a bit of a morale boost from winning a round, it feels as though they're just willing to up and carry with that. Until something happens. And it was Tudson, man. Like, Tudson's had a pretty shy game, but he really has sort of opened the door for Team Neo to come back into this.
And look, we've talked about the Smooya comeback a fair bit in terms of within this very same game. If Tudson starts doing something similar, can be some rough times.
Yeah, the rest of the pistons are firing, so
yeah,
the engine's still churning. This is a bold move to make. Upgraded pistols and the hero AWP for Smooya. The plan would be, if worst come worst, save that AWP, if it's allowed.
Or fight one by one with the hero AWP. That works
yes,
too.
The gladiator's approach.
Indeed. That's a much simpler lineup than the one I use. Wow, people are so much smarter than I am. Ooh.
Jump spot. Nini's had a good crack at it, but 3 players pretty close by on this A-bomb site, so this is going to be a tough task to move past. And without the AWP finding any success, not likely. Seems as though Smooya, yeah, gets nothing for his efforts. NATO only 1, and only 1 death here for Team Neo. The hero AWP doesn't work out, but a buy can still be mustered here for Team Kenny in the follow-up round. Smooya would just have to take the hit.
Look, this is going to sound kind of fanboy-y, but when you're on Neo's perspective, there's so many of these small things he does now that he's playing in more of a relaxed, free-flowing environment. Like in that little retreat he just had there to dodge out the second peek from the long player as well. They're such small little focus points, but he just looks so sharp in that regards. Smooya, though, looked pretty sharp all game long as well. Starts things off with a good kill, but he's traded out soon after. Forrest is still around on the bomb site, but he himself is just another casualty for Mr. NATO himself.
Oh my god, another lurk into short, no shot. Kenny's actually got the kill as well and got his hands onto an M4. They traded places in that smoke, and Kenny knows! Neo had no upper hand. Freiburg, all that's left. He was the B-side defender from the start of this round. All his rotates died in transit, and he's now got him down to a one-on-one. Bomb still out in limbo.
2 HP, and he's got to run away from that grenade. That is for sure. NATO's going to stick the bomb plant completely. Freiburg could actually still catch him off from the side, but NATO's MAC-10 will be able to come through regardless. I have to say, awkward maneuver, but it looked like Neo had almost actually managed to bamboozle Kenny out. But honestly, Kenny, very well aware.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy sequence. And around that, they only invest into MAC-10s to rush into this B site. The fact that they had so much success, you know, it was a team flash, at least a partial one at that from Freiburg, linking up with Olaf on short control that ended up being the first victim, the first casualty as a result of trying to be aggressive. Ooh. Good pick from Tudson. Thins the herd nice and early and can fall back safely. No one's going to be able to chase him down. Connector door being blown open, being the meta, is so awkward to play off of. An info gathering from Neo. Even though the fact that they've got this opening pick, they still want to make sure they keep tabs on everyone.
Oh yeah. Oh. Big miss coming out from him. Think about a movement inaccuracy. That would have been nice to bring it right back. I'm very content to slow things down on either side without getting too antsy. Hudson. All of these narrow angles that he's been attempting to go for, just unfortunately not landing the shots that he needs to.
Oh, another wiggle peek, another forward peek, and Kenny S will finally hit the deck. The AWP shots from Tudson have been swings and misses, but he's been the only one to connect on successes so far in this round, and Neo's position shouldn't be cleared. Not enough time, surely, for them to do so. It's kind of half-assed, not full committed to, and Nini's will drop. That's the bomb as well. Tudson keeping his back covered. Only Smooya that remains, and he's trapped, boxed in. Force was there on the flank. 5 players survive for Team Neo.
Tudson's really struggling this game.
He was certainly struggling, but I mean, coming online in a round like that as well, when they're on a full buy, you know, just bouncing back after losing to MAC-10s, I think it's a solid performance. Because now Kenny again are having to sort of bend down and sort of take the upgraded pistols only into round 28.
So we just want to get this a little bit quickly. Tudson. Ah, poor fella, you gotta feel for him. Movement can go wrong for anyone. And as Neo's trying to fight back, the flashbangs will force him off, and he's taking a more defensible position on the bomb site. It's Neo to continue covering off. He's just gonna keep on re-peeking into them. Smooya, the last one left alive, as he has managed to secure that by killing Ninis.
Yeah, well, that's not the way you expected this round to go, and Neo, I'm not sure about what he was up to. Pulled his knife out after seeing Smooya so close by. I'm not sure if he wanted to go for the incision.
Oh,
no.
That's what I'm talking about. He looks like he knows everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you have no option. You either face me divider or you face me through the smoke, and both suck for you.
This is a moot point, but his game is really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he's the captain of this ship. I have to say as well, I felt like there was a bit of a disconnect between what Neo and Tudson wanted to do in that round. Tudson hung around maybe a little too long in the effort to get a peek in from Party. Neo had already sort of abandoned him, left for the bathrooms, and just gone like, well, if they're gonna throw a molly and a smoke in the connector, then maybe get my rotate game onto the B-bomb site. Tudson was stoic until the flash. That was where it all went wrong.
(14-14) the equalizer, and now the chance for Team Neo to shut things down immediately. The T side will find themselves with little to no money, and good to see that they have still gone and purchased up the AWP for Kenny S rather than prioritizing a rifle.
Big scout to take. Losing someone like Neo, considering the game he's been having. They are going to be clustered up in towards the B side of things, but not having somebody flushing out the connector might be a bit of a disadvantage.
Smoke, but they've already moved past it. Kenny S. Flashbang is good, and Freiburg is going to be suffering off of it. Tudson's the last one left to try and defend his bomb site. Good for the first one, drops the bomb as well. With Smith's going down, Olofmeister has a few flashes to help. A great shot to follow up as well. Some wall banging as well. And although they have a Smuya flank, they've also got an Olaf flank on the other side as he started to get aggressive. They are watching out for it, but it won't matter. NATO misses his chance, and Kenny now might have missed his opportunity. Forrest looks like he's watching for that flank as well. They know all. They see all. You cannot evade them. If there's one man to do it, it must be Kenny, but there's 10 seconds on the clock. It's just not going to work for him. Tudson's missed his shot. The bomb's been faked out. Kenny's scoping in as well, but a shot missed or not, there's still the pistol, and Tudson will bring it back.
Yeah, not quite as dire as the Carrigan USP chasing Kenny down. I'm sure you get little flashbacks when you see somebody trying to get the upper hand on Kenny, but yeah, it's crazy to think that Tudson and Olaf are just able to hold their ground onto short, and once they see that they're playing these sort of very passive, staring at the monster flank, trying to keep themselves alive, Forrest immediately hones in on the idea that there would be this flank. May have gathered some extra info as well, being there was some connector pressure mounted from Olaf, but just so heads up. Last round of this game, and we are pushed down onto upgraded pistols, the MAC-10s. You know, they had success going quick into that B bomb site, but don't imagine that that same kind of circumstance will strike twice. Not exactly got the most resources, so not extinguishing the smokes or the Molotovs into deep playground. Just waiting them out and seeing if they can get these players to reset into more defensive setups. It's all about timings on the CT side, and you can't stay in a position forever.
Tudson. Oh, turns away. Worst possible timing for him. He will be able to get one on the fadeaway. Follows up as well. Good second kill to find. Make sure that at least his death will still come with an advantage. Neo, in the meanwhile, gets behind that smoke, will reveal his position. Knows that there is Olaf around the corner as well, who he can settle forward and use as a decoy.
Wow, I can't believe he ran that. That was mental.
Oh, God.
Smuyanini is all that stands between them and defeat, and it's looking like Team Neo may just cinch their way past a victory. This game has been so back and forth, but a 4-on-2 surely unlosable unless Smuya really pops off.
He's had his big moments. misses a chance. That was a difficult one to hit anyway, but it seemed like he needed to have it. All of my peeks out. Smooya got the collateral as well, and now the elevated position. He's aware of it! Smooya's got a one-on-one. If he can take this away, there's 10 seconds on the clock. A bomb has been planted. Freiberg on the flag comes in at the perfect time. Smooya will try as hard as humanly possible, but these guys just aren't human.
Team Neo, I mean, through thick and thin, it felt as though they were always contesting these rounds.